Good morning. I am John. Today is Friday. That's right, Friday, December 9th, 2022. Another week behind us, almost behind us. I have a busy day today, but let's quickly do updates. Yesterday, I quickly, after doing this vlog, I posted a short, got in a shower, put on like a real button-up shirt like a normal human being, like an adult, headed out and visited my financial planner who... She's been my financial planner for so long, I'd forgotten she'd moved twice since I last visited her office in person, and it had been 8 years. She'd had 2 more kids since the last time I saw her. And I'm like, wow, I haven't been into the office in a while. I don't know that much about investing and crap, and so I just kept throwing money at her and said, do whatever is best. Put it in the places you said are the best places to do it. But very productive visit that I'll talk about later in the vlog. Then I got home after all of that, and I still produced a complete video, which we'll release today. I'm trying to do something a little different based on just input I've heard from a lot of places. I'm combining 3 or 4 different ideas. The first is being a little more conversational, like we are in these vlogs. Not so, this is my presentation of the story of the thing kind of thing. So I'm being very conversational. I'm also doing something that is... there's a little controversy to it, which I understand controversy can be good and kind of drive views. I'm not talking about like inciting riots. I'm talking about just like something that not everybody agrees on, right? So there's that. And then it's something that's related to movies, because we do lots and lots of toys and games and stuff. And though movies are one of the things in our mantra, we don't do a lot of movies. And plus, it's a classic Christmas movie, so it's timely. All of that, my voice went weird. All of that is a formula that I put into, that made me specifically choose to make that video and see if it does any good. Now, granted, it's in a vacuum of other not videos of its type, but if it gets any traction, it tells me that there's an audience for that. And by the way, I'll put a link to it right up here. You can't watch it right now, probably, unless you're watching this later, because it's going to release at 3 p.m. today, though there's already a link to it because it's going to premiere. Anyway, so got that taken care of. We satisfied our requirement on Twitch, just barely, so we got those 50 followers. If you're one of them, thank you. If you're not one of them, please head over there. Here's the thing, just head over to, GenXGrownUp.com/Twitch, and just click follow. It's free. It doesn't cost you to do anything. Just have to log in and do that, and that's it. Anyway, now I can make the next step. Once it all registers in the system, I can now apply for affiliate status. And then I told you we have a life hack that we can do together on Twitch if you'll go with me. So once that's ready, I'll explain it on this vlog. Not this vlog, but this channel, a vlog in this, anyway, we'll do it here. I'll tell you about it later. Yeah, and then, so channel update, I didn't mention, we did cross the 17,700 subscriber mark, and we're situated to cross the 17.8 mark, probably this weekend. We've been on a pace of about 100 subscribers a week, give or take, which is good. Man, I would love to be up around 100 subscribers a day or so. That would be, it's only 7 times more velocity, but it's good progress for us. It's about a 30% increase over the velocity we had, which was about, we used to get about, no, I don't know, probably about we'd get about 10 subscribers every like 13 days or so. So basically we'd get 300 a month. Now we're getting about 400 a month. That was a long time for me to just do some quick, stupid math in my head that you'd already done, and we're waiting for me to get through it, so sorry. Today, I had mentioned that I was going to record with 1980s Now yesterday. Well, that got pushed, so today is like podcast day. Well, the evening is, so I have all my work to do today to prep for hopefully get a video ready to publish on Saturday. I'd love to have something long form to go live on the weekend if I can. And then not only do I have to pick up 1980s Now tonight, I also have 2 episodes of the GenXGrownUp pod to record. And first I have to do some writing. I've got to write the teas and stack the show and do some research and pick listener email and find out what patrons we're going to talk about. Like all that stuff is it have to be done for a couple of shows. So that work I need to take care of throughout the day today. So yeah, it's kind of like a middling day and then a heavy evening. Once we get going in the evening, 4 o'clock or so, I got probably 3 or 4 hours of podcast recording to do tonight. Yeah, so that's a loaded Friday, but it's Friday, so you can't be upset. It's Friday. Yeah, so before I wrap up this vlog, you know where we're at and what's going on, the next thing I just wanted to mention was talk a little bit about what came out of the financial planner thing, which is, it was great that I went in. Effectively, I went in to talk to her, to update her and say, here's the deal. Contributions have stopped because I'm not making money. I mean, she's still, she takes a percentage and everything, and so she's still employed by me, but using my investment, right? So I have like this, whatever, I don't know. However finance works, you give money to this investment company and they keep turning it into different things and investing in pork bellies and liver futures and whatever things investment people do. And anyway, I let her know what's going on. And she had already looked at LinkedIn and said, congratulations, you're working for yourself now. I'm like, well, kind of. That's part of the story. What I had to explain to her, I got laid off, and what we all know, how I chose to, rather than look for direct employment, is to, chase this dream that I've got. And, I told her where I was financially, like how long I can stay afloat with my savings, and she evaluated that kind of. But then the next part that was great that I'd forgotten about was like, hey, dude, you still have your own personal finances, stuff you can't touch, but that you have to deal with. And I was like, I hadn't thought of that. She's like, well, yeah, you've got the 401k from your old employer. You've got the pension from your old employer. You've got the pension from your old employer. They like group all that together and find out where it is and maybe, roll this money over and stuff. And I'm like I hadn't thought of any of that. I'm just like, all right, that money will sit there and do nothing. And it was, so I mean, part of the visit was planning for GenXGrownUp, which I did get advice, and she's going to look for like CPAs for me and stuff and recommend. I mean, she's top notch. I mean, whoever she picks is going to be, implicit trust in, which is going to be great to have somebody. It's like having a great mechanic, It's like if you have a problem, you go to them, and whatever they say, you trust, and that trust is built over years. And like I've been with her for almost 20 years now. Like, yep, I trust her. So she's going to give me great advice there. But the other end was she reminded me of I need to be a good steward of all these retirement investments, because like right now I'm in my early 50s. I've probably got another good 15 years in me before I just give out and collapse and turn to dust, I expect. So I need to take care of that money that's already there so it doesn't just dwindle. I know the market we're in, it's volatile, blah, 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 but she's like, yeah, we can combat that if you want to move this money around and stuff. So what it ended up being was a reminder to me that just because I'm no longer doing a 9-to-5, there is all of this esoteric, management of resources and stuff that I have earned over the years or tucked away over the years in accounts I can't touch that I still have to manage. And the thing it did really for me is to remind me, like, look, there is this lump of money out there. If I dig into it, if I ever have to dig into it, it's damaging to my retirement. I don't want to. I don't plan to ever do that. But it reminds me that there's a long game, right? So there's my immediate goals, and there's the things I want to accomplish in the next, 6 months to a year. But there's all these kind of numbers and ledgers of things that I've done for now decades in my professional life that are still a safety net there for me. So it almost, I don't want to make it sound like I want to fail, which I totally don't, but it makes me feel good. Like if I do fail, like I'm not high and dry, right? There is a place, there's something for me when I retire at least, right? So if I'm only homeless for like another 5 years, that'll be fine, right? I feel like I'm not communicating this well, but what I got out of that visit was a reminder that I'm still on track for where I need to be for the golden years of my life. Look, I want to continue to do GenXGrownUp for as long as I can. Ideally, I want to be able to do it as the only thing I do. I mean, content creation in some form in or around it, But it reminded me that up until now, I have made good decisions for my future. And maybe that carries through to now. Maybe this is also a good decision for my future. I know I've had a lot of concern about it, but historically, every time I bet on myself, I've won. Now, some could say, well, that's great, you have a good track record. You could also say, well, you're due to fail eventually, right? So maybe that's it, but it really it shifted perspective for me by looking at not the dollars and cents so much, but as the decisions I've made throughout my career and how they've turned out lead me to believe that I'm not just on a fool's errand. Maybe this is another decision I've made that, if not turning out exactly the way I expected, which sometimes is the way with life, it will turn out in a way that will propel me forward on this adventure that's greater than you and me and all of this. It's all we're doing on this planet, and so far it's been working out okay. Thanks to amazing people and friends and family, of whom I now include you guys at that little circle. Hey, I gotta get to work. I told you I got a lot to do. Thank you so much for stopping in and watching the vlog, especially if you watch today. If you're one of the folks that watch every day, you know that I love you. Thank you so much for being here. It's Friday. Take amazing care of yourself. I'll definitely talk to you on Monday, over the weekend if something pops up. Otherwise, I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.